everyone! It's a nice bright sunny day out in Ottawa, but we are currently in lockdown and under a stay-at-home order, so I figured why not give you an update on some of the projects that I've been working on. So the first one was from my most recent video, my seed starting one. As you can see, I've got some peppers started and some germinating here. But the main thing I want to focus on are my cacti seedlings, because so many of them have germinated. I don't know how much you can see. Well, I mean, you can see okay. You can see all the green dots are little cacti babies, and I'm just trying to focus in on them. Let's see if we can get this guy. Look at that. That is so cool. And some of them, I think it was this one, even had like little spikes. Do you see that off the top? So that is just really cool. They're doing super well. I'm not sure when I need to take the humidity dome off. I've just been leaving it on because they seem to be doing pretty well, and then kind of airing it out like once or twice a day, just so they can acclimatize a little bit. Just get that to focus there, but they are just babies, so there we go. And we've got the grow light on them and on the peppers. So the other thing, someone asked for an update on my propagation box, and to be honest with you, it's completely different at this point. It's nothing like what I first had it as. And I guess the first change is that I actually have perlite in here, not sphagnum moss. And that is because the sphagnum moss just attracted fungus gnats like crazy. I don't know why. I mean, I tried to keep it damp because that promotes root growth and whatnot. So it's perfect for the fungus gnats. And I guess they just got in there and really lived their best life. I mean, they're always in the other plants, unfortunately. Like, I can minimize it, and I've gotten better at my watering techniques. So for example, bottom watering, I'm like a chronic overwaterer, so I've been trying to let the soil kind of dry out on the plants where it's appropriate a lot more than I did before, which is also just better for the plants. But anyways, so the perlite, I've had no issues with fungus gnats, and it's just like, it's kind of wet. You can see it's like sticking to my hand. And I just did like a, I don't know, that's maybe 1.5 inch, 2 inch layer of perlite. And what I have in here right now, I have a cutting from my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. You can see there, that is a root forming. And then I have 2 cuttings from my Monstera adansonii. And it's not really doing much. Like, that's a node. And it's not, I don't know, I'll give it more time. Obviously the leaf is still doing fine, but there we go. That one has good root growth. So I don't know what's up with the other cutting. It just needs some more time, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to put this back in here and look at the camera and be gentle enough to not rip the root off, because I do that all the time. Okay, there we go. Oh, and it has another one there. Okay, good work. And then this is a Hoya. I don't know what to do with this. Like, it's got decent root growth. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus there. Decent root growth. The leaf looks like crap. It's yellowed. I think this was the Golem Koyana, but I don't know. Maybe I should just pot it up and see how it goes. So that's what I kind of did with the Optimistic Red. And it's taking its time, but I think it's really settling in. So maybe I'll just pot that up and see how it goes. But I'm going to show you my greenhouse cabinet next. And I rooted a bunch of Hoya macrophylla cuttings from a friend, and I potted them up, so they seem to be doing okay, but I'll show you in a minute. So we've got a quick break to look at demo, because I also forgot to mention that with my prop box, I open that up a couple times a day to air it out. It was more important with the Hoyas because they don't like a full, like a really heavy humidity. But yeah, it's still important to air it out so that it doesn't get mold or anything like that, or mildew. And I guess I just didn't bother to nail holes into the lid. I could do that. Maybe I'll think about it, but since I'm working from home, it's just not really, like, I kind of want the plant chores. So I just walk around and open stuff up to air it out anyways. Hi, Demo. Okay, we're heading upstairs to the greenhouse cabinet, but we have been blessed by the presence of Ellie. I don't know if she's been in my videos before, but there she is. Hi, Ellie. And here we are upstairs looking at the greenhouse cabinet. I kind of think there have been a lot of changes since I first updated it, so let's get in here. So as you can see, I don't have a humidifier, but the humidity stays pretty high just as it is. And since my main interest is Hoyas, that's totally fine. Like 88 is probably above what they need anyways. So still have the awkwardly taped light. It's not working out well. I guess because we're not, like, I'm not really making trips to the hardware store because they're closed. It's just not top of mind to get some better double-sided tape or another alternative. So for now, that's fine. It falls on the plants every once in a while, but it hasn't broken any yet. So anyways, so up here we have quite a few plants. This used to be in my prop box. It's a Hoya Mathilde, and I made a trellis for it last night. So you can see there's some new leaves coming in. I just love the tiny little leaves on this. This plant is an amalgamation of a couple of different cuttings. And I potted it up recently, so I'm just really glad it's growing. Back here, sorry, this is an awkward shot. That is my Silver Glory String of Hearts, doing really well. Hoya Croniana Silver. This is a Million Hearts plant that I got for free. I don't know if you can tell, but it's still not doing great. It's just dry. And I kind of think that's an issue with the roots, so I'm just seeing how it does in here. These are kind of like ideal conditions, so hopefully it'll do a little better. Hoya Sigillatus, it's doing nothing at all. I'm just giving it some time. It's not really doing badly, so we'll see what happens. That's my Optimistic Red. It's doing okay back there. Seems to be rooted firmly into the pot, but no new growth. Hoya Rotundiflora. It's not doing great, honestly. I repotted it into something quite a bit smaller, and I noticed it was still in the plug that it probably came in from the supplier, and then in like a much bigger pot, and it wasn't working for the root growth. So I know Hoyas like to be a little bit root bound, or at least tightly potted before they'll put out new growth, so hopefully this change will help. And here is a butterwort my friend gifted me. She propagated it from a leaf. So it's doing pretty well. I don't know if there's been any new growth, but maybe right at the top there. This is an ant plant. So it actually, I mean, it doesn't require ants, but in its natural environment, ants will, like, it forms tunnel systems inside those kind of tuberous things, and ants will live in them. Just super weird, and if I were to take them out of the pot, you could see like the entryway at the bottom. So bizarre. Then I've got a Cebu Blue cutting that I've rooted. These two bigger leaves seem to be dying off, but it's putting out these two new ones, so can't complain, it's doing okay. The Hoya Caniac Mariana I was worried about for a while, but right over here it's got a new little leaf coming, so I think that's a good sign. I think it's settling in. And this, I have no memory of what these are called. They're in there with some sundews. I love these little flowers. I think they're really beautiful. They're doing so-so. I'm not great with carnivorous plants. But I will show you down here. We've got more sundews and another butterwort. So, I don't know, doing so-so. I wasn't watering them with distilled water, so I started doing that, and they seem to be doing better. And then same deal with the Nepenthes. It seems to be forming a picture at the top there, but it wasn't doing well for a little while, so I think that this additional light will help. Hoya Sunrise doing amazing, new leaves. I trellised up my Hoya globulifera. It's got a new leaf and quite a stem there. And then the Hoya Macrophylla Pot of Gold. Look at that new leaf. So much more striking than the other ones too. I hope it stays that way. I think it's pretty much hardened off now. I just love that. That's beautiful. So then this, someone told me, is not Kentiana, it's Shepherdii. Doing okay. No new leaves, I don't think. The Compacta Alba Marginata has actually gotten 2 new leaves for the first time in, I think, over 6 months of owning it. So that's incredible. I love this greenhouse cabinet for that reason. These Hoyas are doing so much better in it. I'm just really pleased about that. It's a slow grower for sure, but it was doing like nothing. And we've got my Micans also putting out so much new growth in here. I never had problems with this anyways. Even in the winter it was kind of growing still, but this has accelerated the pace. And I think what I want to do is take cuttings from these longer trails and kind of fill out the pot more. I think that's everything for this shelf. So if we just move down here, here is the Hoya Macrophylla I was talking about. It looks okay. The leaves aren't rotting, but they just seem floppy, and I'm wondering if that's because I had it in such high humidity in the prop box, but I don't know, it looks okay. I'm hoping for the best. It's not rotting or anything. I just potted it up last week, so no new growth, but anyways, I have a Scindapsus pictus doing well, unfurling leaves. That was a variegated bear paw cactus. So do what you will with that information. This is the Hoya cinnamomatoria I bought off of Marketplace. It seems to be growing that stem like crazy. I haven't noticed much else happening, and one of the leaves back there is yellowing. So I don't know, seems mildly happy, we'll say. Then we have the Hoya Chelsea, which I think I showed before on this channel. I love, like, it's so cup shaped, it's really cool. And I think I saw new growth on it. I thought I did, maybe not. Anyways, it does seem pretty happy in here. The Hoya Wyetii has put out new growth since being in here, and you can even see a tiny leaf there. So that makes me happy. I really like these long-leafed plants. I think they look super cool. And then lastly, here's my Hoya pubicalix. I trellised it recently. It's got these beautiful dark new leaves that will go green eventually, and a huge long stem. So I watered and fertilized all of these last night. That's partially why the humidity is so high. But yeah, I really love this greenhouse cabinet. It's doing so well for the plants. So much new growth. And it's just nice to look at. I kind of like the purple light. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is in my bedroom, so I don't know, it's just neat lighting. But anyways, that is all for updates. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think.